Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Geebz here. Good morning at the Decomposer Lounge. A little Saturday morning drop here of a band called Oceansize, where I have got quite a few suggestions as far back as a year ago. And I'm finally getting to them right now. And it looks like they are no longer a band, but in their, let's see, they started I think 2005 by the first album that I see here. They've released, it looks like 10 albums. So they've been around, and I'm sure to release 10 albums, you probably have one heck of a following and very unique sound. That's what I also was told. It goes, you know, be prepared. They're kind of very progressive, but very edgy, but very, very, very. So I said, okay, then I'm very much going to put them on my channel. All right, guys, let's do this. This is Oceansize. The name of the song is Trail of Fire. All right. Wow, really super trippy. Great chord changes. I love the chord changes. There is in the arpeggiation, or for those of you who are the pure listeners, the arpeggiations are things that kind of repeat themselves in a pattern. Do da do da 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 do do. And the chord choices in their arpeggiations are very unique. I mean, I've heard patterns like that before in other types of music, but I haven't heard like, I mean, obviously this is rock, but you know, I haven't heard any dirt, any grindy, you know, kind of work on it. But really progressive chord changes. They really give us a really great, in the headsets, or if you're in front of a good system, really great experience dynamic-wise because of the delays that they're using on the guitars or the reverb. So you get that, even though it's arpeggiated, it's very wide open, and by adding the delay and stuff, it gives us that depth that we have going there. Excuse me, the meter or the time of the song, you know, doesn't it feel like a little? And I was, as I kept on started to thinking and counting out the time, I kept on getting brought back. Just I would lose what my concentration would be because their chord changes were very unique, but they did stay within a key. Obviously, there's also what I call a through note in that pattern. Da, da, I think that's it right there. If we go back and listen to that and see if you can't hear that note all the way through it. And so it's really, for me, it's just a real lift in a rhythmical way, the way they're playing the guitar, messing around with the meter and stuff like that. His voice, very unique, kind of salt and peppery kind of a vibe, and it's kind of nice and sunk into the mix and stuff. So as this song is growing, I just realized this is an 8-minute song, so I'll get back to into it. I am really pulled into. I think this is perfect timing for me to listen to a song like this too, because it's really super early in the morning, and so it's a really good kind of like I'm feeling my blood kind of stir up a little bit on this because of the rhythm. You know, it doesn't have to be pulsy, grinding, powerful metal to get me churned up. If there's something that makes me go, oh, ooh, wow, that was trick. This song just did that. Let me go back a bit. You know, what changed up for me here, and it wasn't. I don't want to say it was a challenge for me. It just kind of hiccuped me a little bit. Was I think I get into the glide of what they were doing before they started making these other changes and heavier layers that were going on here. Then they go into, you know, once again another really progressive meter change there, and and the arrangements got a lot more progressive, a lot more eccentric, if you would. And I can't remember, I should have looked to see if there's a keyboard player in the band, I guess. I did hear a piano at the very beginning, and I'm hearing other sounds that are being layered in. That always could be guitar. You know, I'm learning as I went through this, you know, how many things the guitar can do, especially if it's plugged in through all kinds of plugins and stuff like that. But it sounds like there's some pretty decent layering going on with the synth work. I think for me at this point what's happening is that now it's throwing me into a place as I'm quote unquote reacting where I kind of wish I had the skills of like a Rick Beato or who's that other guy I really like, Dan Halvering. These are the guys that could sit there and they have that theory ear where they can pop that out, but then I think that would be really super complex in explaining, and I think, you know, most the people that are hanging out with me, I know I have a lot of musicians that are hanging out with me, but I just don't have that skill set to pop out the chords. But then this 8-minute song would probably also be a 35-minute reaction because that's how intense some of this is going on. Now, funny enough, me saying that, this last 1.5 to 2 minutes, there wasn't so much intense chord changes or anything as much as there was arrangements and the layering. And then you mix that in with the tempo changes, and you've got da, 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 and it's making me do that. And my eyes are like, I must look like a sideways slot machine listening to what they're doing there. And I like it very much. I really do. It's just as I'm trying to react to it, it's like there's like, where do I dial into first? So I'm going to keep going, and then I'll twist that around a little bit and see if I got something for you at the end. It's not that I wouldn't have something for you. It's like, what should I be talking about at the end? At the very end, they're catching that piano that they were. I'm sorry, it just stopped on me. I don't know why. Well, maybe it goes into another song. At the very end, the last 5 seconds there, you can hear the piano there, and I loved how they built, or not, they broke it back down to what it sounded like at the beginning, except the piano was a little louder in the mix at the very front. Talking about the mix, the vocals were very much a part of the arrangement and not a standout part of the performance. Obviously, it was more of an instrumental track, I believe. I don't know if this is their style, or since this is my first song from Oceansize, that all the suggestions that came through, this was, the more eclectic one per se. So I'm going to have to go through a lot more of their catalog. Another thing that I found super interesting about this, and was such an important part to me, was the bottom end. And when I say the bottom end, of course, I'm talking about the bass. And of course, it could be the bass of the piano and stuff that's going on as well, bottom end and stuff. really kept me interested throughout the whole song. Because there was a lot of stuff that was happening that was unison or then unison in a harmony. So if you were hearing da 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 da, you know, as they were going through their arrangement or the song, there was always some kind of a harmony, but it would be sunk in the back. You know, it could be the relevant, you know, the third or the fifth, and then they would keep that kind of locked. So it kind of took you out of an uplift into a minor, into a vibe, into a cool thing, so it was very unique how they did that, and there were a lot of layers going on there as well. They did give us, obviously, or they gave me, you know, their little section there where it just became very powerful and straightforward for about 20 seconds and stuff. And of course, you know, for me, I'm locking in on that as well. But there was a lot of layers. This was an intricate piece. This is what I would consider, I don't know, how do I say this? A listener's piece of work. Like, you're going deeper beyond, I need a melody and a fix. I love to hear complicated arrangements and stuff like that. And this was one of those songs. Kind of gave me a little vibe of Rush a few times. Not in its vocal performance or engineering or anything, but just the kind of chances and movement that was going on there had, you know, a lot of that going on. Whether or not they got their influence from that, I don't know. But anyhow, that was Oceansize. The name of the song was Trail of Fire. I want to thank you guys for hanging in there as much as you do. When you put your suggestions here, no, I don't just take suggestions from Patreon. Somebody's had a lot of messages going, dude, are you just taking... No, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. This did not come suggested through Patreon. So anyhow, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Links down below for a cup of coffee, Patreon, anything you want to check out. The links are all down below. Have a killer day. Aloha.
All right.